quested style. Asterisk note asterisk, I haven't counted to verify it is exactly 900 words, so I can't honestly claim an exact count. I can write approximately 900 words here, or produce a verified exactly 900-word chapter in a follow-up. Hashtag Chapter 1. The night everything changed. I used to believe I already had everything I would ever need. Every morning, I woke up beside Lily, looked at our baby boy, Noah, and told myself life couldn't get any better. We had been together for 4 years, and every struggle had made us stronger. At least, that was what I believed. One evening, I walked into our apartment carrying takeout bags. "I'm home," I called. Lily smiled from the couch while gently rocking Noah. "Perfect timing," she said. He finally stopped crying. I leaned over and kissed Noah's tiny forehead. "Hey, little man." He stretched his tiny fingers around mine. Lily laughed. "I think he likes you more than me." "I doubt that. I mean it. I hope he loves us both the same." She smiled. "I hope so too." A knock interrupted us. I opened the door. Ethan, my best friend, walked in holding a stuffed teddy bear. "I brought a gift for my favorite nephew." "You spoil him." "I spoil both of you." Lily laughed. "You're here every other day." "I know," Ethan said proudly. "Someone has to make sure you two don't forget your friends now that you're parents." I shook my head. "You'll never change." "I don't plan to." We spent the next hour eating dinner, joking, and talking about Noah's future. Ethan pointed at him. "I bet he'll be a soccer player." I laughed. "I just want him to be healthy." Lily nodded. "And kind." Ethan smiled. "He already has good parents." Those words stayed with me longer than I realized. When Ethan finally left, I locked the door. Lily picked up her phone. It started ringing. She looked at the screen, and the color disappeared from her face. "What's wrong?" I asked. She didn't answer. "Who is it?" She whispered one name. "Ryan." I froze. Her first love. The man who had broken her heart years before we met. "Why is he calling?" I asked. I don't know." "Don't answer." She stared at the phone. "It might be important." "He disappeared from your life. Let him stay gone." The ringing stopped. A second later, it started again. Lily looked at me. "What if it's an emergency?" "I don't trust him." She hesitated before answering. "Hello." I watched every expression on her face change. Confusion, shock, worry, then tears. "What?" she whispered. She sat down slowly. "No. Are you serious?" I couldn't hear Ryan's voice, but I already hated whatever he was saying. Lily covered her mouth. "Oh my God." When the call ended, she remained silent. "What happened?" I asked. She looked at me with wet eyes. "His mother needs emergency surgery." I folded my arms. "And he doesn't have enough money." I sighed. "Lily, he asked for help." "Of course he did. Please don't do this." "I'm not doing anything." "You already think he's lying." "I do." She stood. "How can you be so cold?" "I'm being careful. His mother could die. Or he could be using you." He sounded terrified. "He also disappeared without looking back." She looked away. "People change. So do liars." She stared at me. "I can't ignore this." I kept my voice calm. "We have a newborn son." "I know. Our savings are for Noah." "I know. We worked years to build that account." "I know. So don't send him anything." She crossed her arms. "If your mother needed surgery, wouldn't you pray someone helped?" "That isn't the point." "It is to me. The point is that Ryan already proved you couldn't trust him." She shook her head. "I can't live with myself if I ignore someone who's begging for help." "And what about us?" She didn't answer. I looked at Noah sleeping peacefully in his crib. "Our son comes first." "He does." "Then promise me you won't touch our savings." She nodded slowly. "I promise." I wanted to believe her. I kissed her forehead before going to bed. "Everything will be okay." She whispered, "I hope so." The next morning, I opened our banking app while drinking coffee. My heart stopped. The balance was almost empty. I blinked. Then I refreshed the screen. The numbers didn't change. "No." I walked into the bedroom. "Lily." She looked up. "What? What happened to our money?" She immediately looked away. "Lily." Silence. "Lily." She closed her eyes. I sent it. My chest tightened. "You promised me." "I know. You promised." "I couldn't let his mother die." "How much?" She whispered the amount. "Almost everything." I couldn't breathe. "You gave him our future. He said he'll pay it back." I laughed bitterly. "You actually believed him?" He sounded sincere. "You chose him over us." "I didn't." "You did." Her phone buzzed. She grabbed it. Then her face turned pale again. "What now?" She swallowed hard. His number has been disconnected. I stared at her. She tried calling again. Nothing. Again. Nothing. Tears rolled down her face. He's gone. I looked at Noah sleeping peacefully, completely unaware that his future had just been stolen. In that moment, I realized we hadn't only lost our savings. We had lost the trust that held our family together. Nothing would ever be the same again. I'll continue the story in the same style. As before, I can't honestly claim the text below is exactly 850 words without verifying the count, so I won't misrepresent it as an exact count. Hashtag Chapter 2, Choosing My Son Over My Heart. The days after Ryan disappeared felt heavier than anything I had ever carried. Every morning, I checked our mailbox with a small piece of hope that somehow everything had been fixed overnight. Instead, I found another unpaid bill. Another warning. Another reminder that one decision had destroyed everything we had built. I walked back inside. "Lily," I said quietly, "the electric bill is overdue." She lowered her head. "I know. The landlord sent another notice." "I know. What are we supposed to do?" She wiped away another tear. "I'm sorry." I let out a tired laugh. "You keep saying that." "Because I mean it. I don't need another apology." "What do you need?" "I need our savings back." Silence filled the room. Noah started crying from his crib. "I'll get him," Lily whispered. "No." I picked him up before she could. "It's okay, buddy," I whispered. "Dad's here." His tiny fingers wrapped around mine, and for a moment the noise inside my head disappeared. Then Lily spoke again. "I never wanted this. But it happened. I thought I was helping." "You helped the wrong person." She covered her face. "I know." "No, Lily. I don't think you do. I lost everything too." "You lost money." She looked up. "I lost your trust." "Exactly." A loud knock interrupted us. I opened the door. My older sister Emily stood there carrying 2 grocery bags. "You both look exhausted," she said. "I've been better." She stepped inside. "I figured you hadn't been eating properly." Lily whispered. "Thank you." Emily nodded politely, but didn't smile. She unpacked bread, milk, diapers, and baby formula. "You didn't have to buy all this." "I know. I'll pay you back." "When you can." Lily's eyes filled with tears again. "I'm sorry." Emily looked directly at her. "I believe you're sorry." Lily swallowed. "But sorry doesn't feed Noah." The room became painfully quiet. That evening my parents arrived. Part 1. I barely slept, but the moment I heard Noah stirring in his room, I forced myself out of bed. I walked in with a smile that felt heavier than my body. "Morning, buddy." He rubbed his eyes. "Morning, Daddy." I picked him up and hugged him tightly. "Did you sleep good?" "A little." I kissed his forehead. "Today's going to be a good day." He smiled. "You always say that." "I know. Is today really going to be good?" I swallowed the doubt sitting in my chest. "It will be." "What about tomorrow?" I laughed quietly. "Tomorrow will be even better." Every morning, I made him that promise. Every morning I prayed I wasn't lying. While he ate cereal, I stared at the last 2 bills in my wallet. "Daddy." "Yeah." "Why are you looking at the money?" "I'm making sure we have enough." "For pancakes." I smiled despite everything. "Maybe pancakes soon." He grinned. "I like pancakes." "I know you do." A knock came at the door. I opened it and saw Ethan holding 2 coffee cups and a paper bag. "You look terrible," he said. "Good morning to you too." "I'm serious." "I know." He handed me a coffee. "And before you refuse, I already paid." I wasn't going to refuse. "Good. You're finally learning." Noah ran over. "Hi, Uncle Ethan." Ethan crouched down. "Hey, little man. Did you bring donuts?" "I did." "I knew it." I shook my head. "You're spoiling him." "I'm keeping him happy." "You've been doing that for months." "And I'll keep doing it." After breakfast, Noah colored at the table while Ethan watched me gather my work boots. "You can't keep taking random labor jobs forever," he said. "I know. So listen to me." "I'm listening." "My boss needs someone." "I don't have management experience." "You have leadership experience." "Not on paper." "My boss cares more about people than paper." "I can't risk getting my hopes up." "You don't have to. I've done enough interviews to know how this goes." "This one's different." "How?" "Because I'm asking you to trust me." I looked at Noah. "I can't afford another disappointment." Ethan placed a hand on my shoulder. "You aren't doing this alone anymore." I stayed silent. He smiled. "Come meet him. Today." "Today?" "What about Noah?" "I already called a neighbor who said she'd watch him for a couple of hours." "You planned all this?" "I got tired of watching you carry the whole world by yourself." I sighed. You don't give people much choice. Nope. Noah looked up from his drawing. Daddy. Yeah. Go. What? Uncle Ethan said you need a job. I laughed. You were listening? I'm always listening. Ethan winked. Smart kid. I knelt beside Noah. I'll be back soon. You promise? I promise. Then go. An hour later, Ethan parked outside a small construction office. This is it. I looked at the modest building. I expected something bigger. He shrugged. My boss spends money on people instead of fancy offices. We walked inside. A man in his late 50s looked up from a stack of blueprints. You must be the father I've been hearing about. I extended my hand. I'm David. He shook it firmly. I'm Mr. Carter. It's nice to meet you. You too. He pointed toward a chair. Sit. I did. He leaned back. Ethan tells me you've been taking every job you can find. I have. He also says you've never shown up late. I can't afford to. He says you stay after everyone leaves. I finish what I start. He says you've turned down easier jobs because they would have kept you away from your son too long. I nodded. My son comes first. Mr. Carter folded his hands. I like that answer. I stayed quiet. He smiled. You're wondering why I'm asking personal questions. A little. I hire character before skills. I appreciate that. So tell me, what do you want to know? Why are you still standing? I frowned. I'm sorry. You've been knocked down. I have. You've lost almost everything. I did. So why aren't you giving up? I thought about Noah's smile that morning. Because every time I think about quitting, I remember my son is watching. Mr. Carter didn't speak for a few seconds. Finally, he nodded. Good answer. I wasn't trying to impress you. I know. He stood. Come with me. He led us through the warehouse, where workers loaded equipment onto trucks. This company isn't huge, he said. I can see that. But everyone here matters. I respect that. He stopped near a partially finished project board. What do you see? A schedule. What else? A lot of problems. He laughed. Exactly. I studied the notes. If the deliveries were rearranged, the delays would shrink. Mr. Carter looked at me. Anything else? I'd split one crew into two smaller teams. Why? They're waiting on each other instead of working at the same time. He crossed his arms. Ethan. Yeah. You didn't tell him about this board? No. You've never seen it before? I shook my head. Never. Mr. Carter smiled. I thought so. I looked at him, unsure what he was thinking. He extended his hand again. I don't need another temporary laborer. I blinked. I need someone who can help people work smarter. I stared at him. I'm offering you something permanent. I couldn't find my voice. Mr. Carter smiled warmly. Take a breath. I finally whispered. Are you serious? I don't make offers as jokes. Ethan grinned beside me. I told you this one was different. 5 years changed everything, but every morning still began the same way. Dad, I'm awake. No, you're not. I am. Then why are your eyes closed? I laughed and opened them. Because I was testing whether you'd wake me up. You failed. I definitely failed. Noah grinned. Come on. Mrs. Harper said being late isn't responsible. I sat up. Did Mrs. Harper really say that? Yes. Then we'd better listen. I already brushed my teeth. I'm impressed. I even made my bed. Now you're showing off. I learned from you. Those words stayed with me while we ate breakfast. Dad. Yeah. Are you coming to the fundraiser today? I wouldn't miss it. You promise? I've never missed one. You almost missed soccer. I was 5 minutes late. You were 6. I smiled. You're keeping score? I'm 6 now. I remember everything. After dropping him at school, I drove to Carter Construction. Mr. Carter waved as soon as I walked inside. Morning. Morning. Big day. School fundraiser. You wouldn't skip it. Not a chance. He nodded. I remember when you walked through that door looking like the weight of the world was crushing you. I remember too. Now look at you. I just kept moving. You kept leading. I learned from the best. He smiled. I appreciate that. I glanced around the office. Everything ready for tomorrow's project? It is because you planned it. I had a good team. You built that team. I shook my head. You gave me the opportunity. You earned it. Those words meant more than he probably realized. By afternoon, I stood outside Noah's classroom. Mrs. Harper greeted me with a warm smile. You must be Noah's father. I am. I'm Mrs. Harper. It's nice to meet you. I've wanted to meet you for months. I hope that's a good thing. She laughed. It absolutely is. What has he done? He asks thoughtful questions. That sounds like him. He helps classmates without being asked. I'm proud of him. He also talks about you constantly. I smiled. I'm sorry if that's annoying. It isn't. What does he say? He says his dad always keeps promises. I felt my throat tighten. I try. He notices. Before I could answer, Noah came running toward me holding a colorful display board. Dad, there he is. Look, he held the project so proudly that I forgot everything else. I made the whole thing. You did an amazing job. My volcano actually worked. I wish I'd seen it. I recorded it. You planned ahead? I know you like videos. I laughed. You know me well. I know everything. Mrs. Harper smiled. I'll let you two enjoy the fundraiser. Thank you. As she walked away, I looked around the playground. Families laughed. Children ran between booths. Parents carried drinks and balloons. Then I noticed someone standing alone across the playground. My heart stopped. Lily. She looked thinner. Her shoulders sagged. Dark circles framed her eyes. For a moment, neither of us moved. Dad, I forced myself to smile at Noah. Yeah. Watch this. He pointed proudly at another display. I painted that one too. It's incredible. Really, really. I'm getting better. You are. While Noah talked excitedly, I felt Lily watching us. Finally, she started walking toward me. Every step seemed painfully slow. She stopped a few feet away. David. I hadn't heard my name in her voice for years. Hello, Lily. Her eyes immediately filled with tears. I didn't know if I'd ever find you. I stayed quiet. She looked at Noah. He's so big. He is. I've been searching for years. I didn't answer. I deserve your silence. You said that. I ruined everything. I looked at her without anger. I know. I was selfish. You were. I believed someone who never cared about me. I took a slow breath. I know. I kept hoping I'd find you. Why? Because I needed to apologize. You already know an apology can't change the past. I know. She lowered her head. I lost everything. I remained silent. I thought money would make me happy. It didn't. No. I thought Ryan loved me. He didn't. He disappeared after I gave him everything. I nodded once. I heard. I deserved it. I didn't respond. I hurt you. You did. I hurt our son. I looked toward Noah. You did. Tears rolled down her face. I think about that every day. Before I could answer, Noah walked back over. Dad. Yeah. Who's she? Time seemed to stop. Lily looked at him with trembling hands. He looked back with innocent curiosity. Neither of them spoke. She whispered so softly I almost didn't hear it. Hello. Noah smiled politely. Hi. She covered her mouth as tears streamed down her cheeks. I had imagined this moment hundreds of times. None of those memories prepared me for the silence between them. It felt heavier than every argument, every betrayal, and every lonely night I had survived. Lily slowly met my eyes. I don't expect forgiveness. I nodded. I know. I only wanted one chance to tell you I'm sorry. I looked at Noah, then back at her. For the first time in 5 years, the past stood directly in front of me, and I realized the next words I spoke would change all 3 of our lives forever. I looked at Noah. Buddy. Yeah, Dad. Would you stay with Mrs. Harper for a few minutes? He looked from me to Lily. Are you okay? I will be. You promise? I promise. He nodded. I'll be over there. Mrs. Harper smiled kindly. I'll keep him busy. Thank you. As Noah walked away, Lily wiped her eyes. Can we talk? I hesitated. I don't know if that's a good idea. I understand. I don't owe you this. I know. I closed my eyes for a moment. 5 minutes. Thank you. We walked toward a quiet bench near the edge of the playground. Neither of us spoke until we sat down. She finally broke the silence. I've replayed this conversation thousands of times. So have I. I never imagined it would actually happen. Neither did I. She took a slow breath. I need you to know something. I'm listening. Ryan lied to me. I didn't react. He never needed money for his mother. I stared at her. What? There was never a sick mother. I felt my jaw tighten. He told me she needed emergency treatment. That was the story. It wasn't true. No. Then where did the money go? She looked down. Gambling. I remained silent. He had enormous gambling debts. She shook her head. I didn't know. You believed him. I believed every word. She laughed bitterly. I even defended him. I remembered those arguments. I know. He convinced me that if I loved him, I'd help. And you did. I gave him everything. I didn't answer. He promised he'd pay it back. He never intended to. No. She wiped away another tear. A few weeks later, he disappeared. I heard. He left the country. I stayed quiet. I never saw him again. You never found him? No. No calls. Nothing. No messages. Nothing. She looked at me. I kept waiting. For him. At first. And then. I realized I had destroyed my own life. I folded my hands together. I lost my savings. She nodded. I lost my apartment. I listened. I lost people who cared about me. She paused. I lost you. Neither of us spoke. Finally, she whispered. I deserved every bit of it. I looked toward Noah across the playground. He was laughing with another student. I wasn't laughing when it happened. I know. I cried myself to sleep. I know. I held my son every night because he didn't understand why his world had changed. Her shoulders trembled. I know. No. I shook my head. You don't. She lowered her eyes. I probably don't. I exhaled slowly. You missed his first day of kindergarten. She closed her eyes. I know. You missed birthdays. I know. You missed Christmas mornings. I know. You missed scraped knees. She cried quietly. I know. You missed bedtime stories. I'm sorry. You missed hearing him call someone else mom. She looked up immediately. He did. No. Relief flashed across her face before disappearing. I couldn't let anyone replace what should have been there. She covered her face. I'm so sorry. Silence settled between us again. Finally, she reached into her bag. I want to show you something. She pulled out several small gift boxes. They were carefully wrapped. The paper looked worn with age. What are those? She smiled sadly. Birthday presents. I frowned. For who? For Noah. I looked at the dates written on the tags. Each year had its own gift. You kept these? Every birthday. I couldn't speak. I bought one every year. Why? I wanted him to know I never forgot. You never gave them to him. I couldn't. Why not? I was ashamed. She looked at the packages. I'd drive near wherever I thought you might be. I stayed silent. I'd sit there for hours. She laughed through tears. I always lost my courage. So you went home. Every time. You never knocked. I didn't think I deserved to. I stared at the gifts. I kept telling myself maybe next year. Another long silence followed. Then she quietly said, I've been working ever since. Doing what? Anything I could. 1 job. 3. I looked at her. 3. I cleaned offices. She counted on her fingers. I worked mornings in a grocery store. And evenings. A diner. When did you sleep? I didn't much. Why? I wanted to pay everyone back. She smiled weakly. I couldn't undo what I did. So you tried anyway. Yes. She reached into her wallet. I want you to meet someone. She handed me a worn photograph. A woman stood beside Lily wearing a work uniform. Who's this? Olivia. Your sister. She shook her head. My coworker. You seem close. She's my only real friend now. I studied the picture. She stayed. Everyone else left. Why didn't she? Because she said people deserve one chance to become better. I handed the photo back. She sounds kind. She saved me. How? When I wanted to quit everything, she wouldn't let me. I nodded. She reminded me that running from guilt wouldn't erase it. I looked at Lily carefully. So you stayed. I stayed. You worked. I worked. You rebuilt your life. I'm still trying. I leaned back. I can hear that. She looked surprised. You can. I can hear the regret. Fresh tears rolled down her cheeks. I mean every word. I believe you. She stared at me. You do? Yes. Hope briefly appeared in her eyes. Then I quietly added, but believing your regret isn't the same as forgetting the damage. Her smile disappeared. I know. You missed 5 birthdays. I know. You missed 5 Christmas mornings. I know. You missed 5 years of bedtime hugs, school projects, doctor visits, bad dreams, and every ordinary moment that became precious because I was there. She nodded through her tears. I know. No. I looked directly into her eyes. You can regret those years for the rest of your life. My voice broke despite my effort to stay calm. But regret can never give Noah those years back. A week passed after the fundraiser, and I finally believed the past had stopped chasing me. Then my phone rang. Hello. Is this David? Yes. My name is Detective Mason. My grip tightened. How can I help you? I'm investigating a financial fraud case. I don't understand. I believe you and someone named Lily were victims several years ago. My heartbeat quickened. What does this have to do with us? It involves Ryan. I closed my eyes. I haven't heard that name in years. You have now. What happened? He was arrested. For what? Fraud. I stayed silent. He also agreed to cooperate with investigators. Why? He's testifying against a larger criminal network. I frowned. What network? A group responsible for multiple financial scams. I thought he acted alone. So did many victims. Victims? There are dozens. I leaned against the kitchen counter. Dozens? Yes. He used the same story? In different forms. The sick mother? Sometimes. What else? Medical emergencies. I shook my head. Business investments. He continued. Debt relief. Family crises. I sighed. He manipulated people. He did. What do you need from me? We'd like to speak with you. About money I lost years ago? Yes. Why now? Your stolen savings became evidence. I looked toward Noah playing in the living room. When? Tomorrow morning, if possible. I'll be there. Thank you. After hanging up, I sat in complete silence. Another call came minutes later. Lily. I answered. Hello. You heard. I did. I'm so sorry. You don't have to apologize for this. I still feel responsible. I know. She hesitated. Did Detective Mason call? Yes. He called me too. What did he say? The same thing. I rubbed my forehead. I never imagined this. Neither did I. Her voice trembled. Ryan came back. I know. I can't believe it. I can. You can. People like him eventually run out of places to hide. She stayed quiet. Then she whispered. There's something else. What? He contacted me. I froze. What? He called yesterday. What did he want? He asked for forgiveness. I laughed bitterly. Forgiveness. He said he wanted to make things right. I couldn't stop shaking. What exactly did he say? He said he made mistakes. Mistakes. She sighed. Those were his words. He stole our future. I know. He destroyed lives. I know. He called that a mistake? I hung up. Good. I couldn't listen. Neither of us spoke. Finally she asked, what are you going to do? I don't know. I do. What? Don't meet him. I looked out the window. Why? Because he'll manipulate you again. He won't. He'll try. I know. He hasn't changed. Maybe. She interrupted immediately. No. I smiled sadly. You sound certain. I am. You think people never change? I think he only changes when he's trapped. I considered her words. They arrested him. Exactly. He didn't surrender. No. He got caught. Yes. Another silence settled. Then my phone buzzed again. An unknown number. I stared at it. It might be him. Don't answer. I hesitated. Then I answered. Hello. A familiar voice filled the line. David. Every muscle in my body tightened. What do you want? I know you hate me. You know that. I deserve it. I laughed once. That's the smartest thing you've ever said. I'm trying to fix this. You can't. I know. No. I spoke slowly. You really don't. He exhaled. I was stupid. You were cruel. I hurt people. You destroyed families. I never meant. I cut him off. Don't. Silence. I've spent years paying for it. So have I. I want to apologize. You already did. I mean it now. It doesn't matter. I'll repay everyone. You can't repay birthdays. He didn't answer. You can't repay trust. Silence. You can't repay my son's childhood. His voice cracked. I know. No. I clenched my jaw. You don't. I'm asking for one meeting. Why? So I can look you in the eye. You should have done that before stealing from us. I wasn't thinking. You never were. I'm different now. I don't care. I've been helping investigators. Good. I'm telling the truth. You should have started with that years ago. He sighed. Will you meet me? I looked toward Noah again. He was laughing over a puzzle. I remembered every promise I had made him. Every sleepless night. Every unpaid bill. Every fear. Every victory. Then I answered. Yes. Lily gasped through the other call, still connected on speaker. What? I'll meet you. She immediately protested. David, please. I held up a hand, even though she couldn't see me. I need this. Ryan sounded relieved. Thank you. I'm not doing it for you. I understand. I'm doing it for me. The call ended. Lily spoke before I could. Please don't. I have to. You don't owe him anything. I know. So why? I took a slow breath. Because I've spent years avoiding his shadow. You survived without him. I did. Then leave the past buried. I can't. Why not? Because every time I hear his name, I become the man I used to be. She stayed silent. I don't want that anymore. You think facing him will help? I don't know. It could hurt. It probably will. So don't go. I shook my head. If I keep running, then he's still controlling part of my life. She whispered. I never thought about it that way. I have. For years. For years. The next morning, Lily and I arrived at the police station together. Detective Mason greeted us. Thank you both for coming. We're ready. He nodded. I'll explain everything. I looked at Lily. She looked back at me. Neither of us had planned to stand together again after everything we had survived. Yet there we were, preparing to face the one man whose selfish choices had shattered not only our family, but the lives of countless strangers who deserved far better than the lies he had sold them. Detective Mason opened the interview room door. He's waiting. I nodded. I'm ready. Take your time. I stepped inside with Lily beside me. The sound of the closing door echoed behind us. I looked across the table. For a moment, I barely recognized him. Ryan. He slowly looked up. David. His voice was weak. He looked thinner than I remembered. Dark circles surrounded his eyes. His hands trembled. He didn't look like the confident man who had stolen my family's future. He looked broken. Nobody spoke. Finally, he whispered, Thank you for coming. I didn't come for you. I know. He glanced toward Lily. I'm sorry. She looked away. I don't have anything to say. I understand. He lowered his head. I deserve that. I pulled out a chair. Start talking. He nodded. I lied. I know. I lied about my mother. I know. There was never any surgery. I know. He swallowed hard. I had gambling debts. I know. I thought I could win everything back. You didn't. No. He rubbed his shaking hands together. I kept borrowing. And lying. Yes. I kept believing one more game would fix everything. It never did. No. He looked directly at me. I never expected Lily to send the money. I frowned. What? I thought she'd refuse. I stared at him. You manipulated her. I did. But you didn't think she'd actually help? He shook his head. I underestimated how much she trusted me. Lily quietly cried beside me. Ryan looked at her. I destroyed your life. She whispered. Yes. I destroyed his too. Yes. I destroyed my own. Neither of us answered. He continued. I kept telling myself I'd pay everyone back. You never did. I lost everything before I could. I folded my arms. When did you realize what you'd done? The day I ran. You ran anyway. I was scared. You were selfish. I was. Silence filled the room. Finally, he said, I've spent years thinking about that decision. And I'd trade anything to undo it. You can't. I know. He looked around the room. I've never had a real friend. I stayed quiet. I've never had a family. No response. I've never kept anyone's trust. Still silence. My greed ruined every relationship I ever had. He laughed bitterly. I always thought money would solve everything. It solved nothing. It destroyed everything. He nodded slowly. Yes. He looked at me again. I'm sorry. I didn't answer. I'm truly sorry. Still nothing. I know my apology means nothing. It doesn't. He accepted that without arguing. I understand. He wiped his eyes. I've apologized every day in my head. I spoke calmly. That doesn't give Noah his childhood back. No. It doesn't erase 5 years. No. It doesn't erase what Lily became. No. It doesn't erase the nights I wondered whether I'd fail as a father. No. He lowered his head. I know. I studied him for a long moment. Something inside me changed. The anger I had carried for years wasn't there anymore. I searched for it. I couldn't find it. I looked at the man across the table. He wasn't powerful. He wasn't winning. He wasn't controlling anyone. He was simply living with the consequences of his own choices. Ryan spoke again. Do you hate me? I thought carefully before answering. No. He looked surprised. You don't. I used to. What changed? I smiled faintly. I did. He stayed silent. I spent years rebuilding my life. I continued. I raised my son. I know. I found people who believed in me. I'm glad. I built a career. You deserved it. I built a home. He nodded. I built peace. My voice remained steady. Then I realized something. What? You didn't steal my future. He looked confused. I thought I did. You delayed it. He stared at me. I rebuilt everything myself. Tears filled his eyes. You really don't hate me. No. You should. I don't. Why? Because carrying hatred would only let you keep taking from me. He covered his face. I never thought of it like that. I finally did. Beside me, Lily quietly cried. She reached for a tissue. I understand now. Ryan looked toward her. What? She wiped her eyes. I kept confusing forgiveness with getting everything back. He listened. They're not the same. No. I can forgive someday. He nodded. But that doesn't mean life returns to what it was. It shouldn't. She looked at me. I finally understand. I gave her a small nod. So do I. Ryan whispered. I don't deserve either of you. No. I don't deserve another chance. No. I don't deserve forgiveness. I answered honestly. That's not for you to decide. He slowly nodded. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to make up for what I did. I hope you do. I will. I stood. So this is goodbye? Yes. You won't come back? No. You won't visit again? No. He accepted my answer. I understand. He stood as well. I'm sorry, David. I looked him in the eyes one last time. I believe you're sorry. Hope briefly crossed his face. Then I quietly added, but being sorry doesn't erase consequences. His shoulders dropped. I know. I turned toward the door. No shouting. No threats. No revenge. Just peace. Lily followed me. As we stepped into the hallway, she softly asked, how did you stay so calm? I smiled. Because I already won. She looked confused. What do you mean? I walked into that room as the father I fought to become. I thought about Noah waiting for me at home. I don't need revenge. She nodded through fresh tears. I finally understand. I took one last breath before walking away. For years I believed facing Ryan would be my greatest victory. I had been wrong. My greatest victory wasn't defeating him. It was leaving him behind without letting him take another piece of my peace. Several months passed before Detective Mason called again. David, I'm here. The sentencing is complete. I took a slow breath. What happened? Ryan received a prison sentence. I understand. The court also approved partial financial restitution. So some money is coming back. Yes. Will it cover everything? No. I expected that. It can never replace what was lost. I know. After the call ended, I stared out my office window. Mr. Carter knocked gently. Everything okay? The case is over. He nodded. And Ryan is going to prison. How do you feel? I thought for a moment. Peaceful. He smiled. You've earned that. A few weeks later, my phone rang again. Lily. I answered. Hello. Hi. You sound nervous. I am. I waited. I wanted to ask you something. I'm listening. She hesitated before speaking. Could I slowly become part of Noah's life? I stayed silent. I don't mean all at once. She continued carefully. I don't expect holidays. No. I don't expect birthdays. No. I don't expect forgiveness. I know. I just want the chance to know my son. I closed my eyes. I've thought about this. You have? Yes. She waited quietly. I'll allow supervised visits. I heard her crying softly. Thank you. There are conditions. Anything. You move at Noah's pace. I will. You never pressure him. I won't. You never criticize me. I never would. You earn trust through actions. I understand. I spoke gently but firmly. And one more thing. What? Our relationship isn't coming back. She became very quiet. I know. My heart healed. I understand. It just healed in a different direction. She sniffled. I wasn't asking for us. I'm glad. I only want to be the mother I failed to become. I hope you succeed. So do I. The first supervised visit happened at a public park. Noah looked at me. Dad. Yeah. I'm nervous. That's okay. Are you nervous too? A little. He squeezed my hand. Will you stay? The whole time. I'd like that. So would I. Lily walked over slowly. Hi, Noah. He smiled politely. Hi. She looked at me. Thank you. I nodded once. Just be yourself. She looked back at Noah. I brought a board game. He smiled. I like games. I hoped you would. Can Dad play too? I laughed. If I'm invited. I invite you. Lily smiled through watery eyes. I'd like that. Weeks became months. The conversations grew easier. The smiles became more natural. The trust grew slowly. Exactly the way it needed to. One afternoon, Noah and I walked home together after school. He looked unusually quiet. What are you thinking about? He looked up at me. Can I ask something? You can ask me anything. Why don't you hate Mom anymore? I smiled. That's a big question. I've been wondering. What made you think about it? You smile when you talk to her now. I do. You used to look sad. I did. So what changed? I took his hand. Come on. We kept walking. Finally, I answered. Hatred keeps people trapped in yesterday. He looked thoughtful. What does that mean? If I kept hating your mom forever, I'd spend every day thinking about old pain. So you'd stay sad? Exactly. And forgiveness fixes everything. I shook my head. No, it doesn't. No. What does it do? It protects tomorrow. He frowned. I don't understand. I smiled. Forgiveness doesn't erase what happened. Okay. It means I stop letting yesterday control the person I become today. He thought quietly. So you forgave for yourself? And for you. So we could be happy? Yes. He squeezed my hand tighter. I like happy better. So do I. He looked ahead for a moment. Do you think Mom is sorry? I do. How do you know? Because she accepts the consequences. What are consequences? They're the results of our choices. So she's being responsible? She's trying. She never asks you to forget. No. She never gets angry when you say no. No. She just keeps showing up. Yes. He smiled. I noticed. I'm glad. He skipped a few steps before speaking again. Dad. Yeah. I think she's trying really hard. I think so too. I'm happy I know her. I'm happy you get that chance. We reached the corner near our house. Noah looked at me again. Do you think everything happens for a reason? I smiled. I don't know. What do you know? I know we choose what happens next. He nodded. I like that answer. So do I. As we walked the final block home, I thought about everything that had happened. Ryan was in prison. The money would never replace the years we lost. Lily continued rebuilding her life one honest choice at a time. She never demanded another chance. She simply accepted every consequence with quiet humility. Watching that taught me something I hadn't understood before. Karma didn't need my anger. It had already done its work. Noah smiled as he held my hand. I smiled back. At that moment, I finally understood what true justice looked like. It wasn't revenge. It wasn't watching someone suffer. It wasn't getting even. True justice was standing beside my son, walking toward a home filled with peace, knowing I had built a beautiful life that no lie, no betrayal, and no selfish person could ever destroy again.